Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the After Hours Gaming League. This is your host, JW Schmo from Team Raytheon. Boy, do we have a treat for you this week. Now, as you know, Raytheon was eliminated by Microsoft last week in a best of 7, and I am pleased to be able to bring to you the following week's matchup between IBM and Microsoft. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, going into the Final Four of the After Hours Gaming League Season Number 4 playoffs, this is Microsoft versus IBM. In the bottom left-hand corner, playing for IBM as the blue Terran is VDEEZNUTS. And in the upper right-hand corner, playing for Microsoft as the red Protoss is LIGHTBRIGADE. And oh my goodness, they've got the little clip helper. He might send some pop-ups halfway through this match to give us the much-needed hints and tips for StarCraft. So Microsoft adding an app into Blizzard StarCraft 2, didn't even see that one coming. So a little bit of history here. This is Season 4 of the After Hours Gaming League. It is a charity tournament, and these are employees of their respective companies. So Microsoft employee LIGHTBRIGADE is playing IBM's employee VDEEZNUTS. Now, you might be wondering, what are these two teams playing for? And I'm going to answer that question for you right now. VDEEZNUTS for IBM is going to be playing for Youth Service America, which improves communities worldwide by increasing the number and diversity of young people ages 5 through 25, serving in substantive roles. YSA coordinates Global Youth Services Day and Semester of Service, distributes over $1 million in grants annually, and provides resources and training. So ladies and gentlemen, if IBM wins it today, they will be one step closer to providing a $5,000 reward to Youth Service America. Now, just a little note here, it does look like VDEEZNUTS has gotten his gas, is laying out his barracks, so most likely going to follow up with a Reaper here to do some scouting early on in the game. LIGHTBRIGADE is going for a fairly standard opening. We do have the Cybernetics core going down, only going for 1 gas. So this could mean some early aggression from LIGHTBRIGADE. He's not really necessarily going for tech at this point. Probably going to go for 3 gates and then go into tech. But you never do know with Protoss. They always have some trickery. And we do have this hidden pylon down here, which could be used for any nefarious number of options. And VDEEZNUTS, very intelligent, laying down the engineering bay, trying to delay the expansion of his Protoss opponent. Very intelligent. You can pretty much guarantee in PvT that there's going to be an engineering bay in your natural. I guarantee it. Alright, so we got a Zealot out, kind of start chipping away at that engineering bay of VD. Now, while he's chipping away, it should be good to note from Microsoft, they are going to be supporting the charity Against Malaria. And Against Malaria works to help protect people from malaria. Against Malaria funds anti-malaria nets, specifically long-lasting insecticidal nets, or LINs, and work with distribution partners to ensure that they are used. They also track and report malaria case data. So Microsoft, we salute you in your efforts to eliminate all forms of malaria on the planet. Now, it does look like VDEEZNUTS is going to be laying down for 3 barracks. This is fairly standard Terran play. It's more of a bio-based play against Protoss. Another thing that you tend to see now is Factory going down early to get out mines, as well as maybe a little bit of Hellion Harass, but not to take away from what VDEEZNUTS is doing. This is very standard play for Terran. For the early game. Now, LIGHTBRIGADE, he has his Mothership core out. He's got this 1 sneaky pylon out, and he is going for some standard play here. He's going to get, oh, now this is a little bit different. I should correct myself. Robotics facility going down before getting his 2nd and 3rd gateway. So he is going to be going for some sort of heavy robo game. Probably wants to get his observer out in case there's any cheese going on with mines, so very intelligent. This Reaper is going to get some scouting data, does get past the mothership core. That is going to allow VDEEZNUTS to get some very important scouting information. The question is going to be, is he going to get knowledge? And he does. That robotics bay has now been spotted by VDEEZNUTS. He knows that he's going to be having to handle possibly some Colossus, maybe some Immortals. But nothing, it doesn't have to worry about too much early aggression coming from his Protoss opponent. Now, Light Brigade going down and laying down some gas. So it looks like he is going to be transitioning into some tech very shortly here. 4 gas at the 7-minute mark, a little bit earlier than normal. However, to allow him to get his tech up faster, he is going to need that gas. Alright, and VDEEZNUTS now getting his factory. Most likely going to be going for some sort of medevac play. Getting a starport there. And Light Brigade just going to be bringing that observer across the map very slowly. Now, a little bit about these players. Light Brigade is in fact a software development engineer for Microsoft. And the irony there is VDEEZNUTS is actually a software Q&A engineer at IBM. So what we have here is truly, honestly, a battle for the ages between software quality and software development. Now, Light Brigade typically in his job would be creating the software features for the next gen of awesomeness that is Microsoft. And someone like VDEEZNUTS who's doing software Q&A would knock him down and say, back to the drawing board, sir. You do not have the requirements needed to succeed, and you have failed to meet them properly. And so really what we are seeing here is VDEEZNUTS is laying down the law saying you need to prepare for my engagement now. As a result, we are going to see a little bit of a poke in here by VDEEZNUTS. He's going to get a draw of the Photon Overcharge from the natural of Light Brigade, but not too much going here. Just a little poke. That Colossus is going to be out here shortly, and that is going to essentially shut down this harass from VDEEZNUTS. Now, VDEEZNUTS also has his missile turrets. Good decision there on his natural. Going to protect against any Dark Templar harassment, shenanigans, anything like that. But really, it does look like, oh my, it does look like Light Brigade is laying down 5 more gateways. So we're going to have some Blink Stalkers coming up here. He is supply blocked at the moment, which is a little awkward, to be honest with you. And it does look like VDEEZNUTS is a little bit out of position here. A couple of his units are going to be attacked. He's going to lose a couple units. There's nothing doing right now. That Colossus is going to absolutely dominate this engagement here. It does look like Light Brigade is going to be caught a little bit out of position. That Zealot is going to lose shields, but not taken down all the way. VDEEZNUTS trying to cause some harassment, trying to get his Protoss player, his opponent, to make some mistakes. However, at the moment, Light Brigade playing very conservatively. 1 Colossus. Really, right now, VDEEZNUTS needs to be getting out his anti-air to take down that Colossus. So that means Vikings. And let's see, it does look like another engineering base going down, an armory, and more medevac. So for the moment, VDEEZNUTS not too worried about that Colossus going down right now. However, it doesn't look like he is aware of the number of gateways that are currently on the field. He must know that something's going on because he hasn't scouted in a while. And Light Brigade going heavy on the research here, going to be getting the charge lock research here just in a second. And also very intelligently, look at this. Getting his stalkers, perfect timing for the harass, holds off those medevacs. That is a hero observer right there, ladies and gentlemen, for the win. And so these 2 medevacs are just hanging right outside the scope of that observer. Right
Upgrade complete.
Outside.
It's go time.
And so we've got Light Brigade gonna get rid of the rock, separating him from his gold. Good decision. Going to give him a little bit more maneuverability. Now the maneuverability is better than having that wall off. Does look like a little bit of scouting here going down for Light Brigade. Gonna see that there is a major force kind of in between the two bases, the third and the natural, VDEEZNUTS. He does know that that natural or that third has been taken. However, VDEEZNUTS does not know that the third of his opponent has been taken just yet. Light Brigade, once again supply block. Really struggling with the pylon management here from our Protoss player. I mean, that's key. I mean, what's really happening here is every time he gets supply block, he's just overcompensating by laying down pylons everywhere. And, you know, it's kind of affecting his gameplay. He's really going to be delayed here. We do have an engagement going down at his main base. It looks like VDEEZNUTS very effectively able to take down the units around, but those medevacs are gone now, so these zealots are going to be able to do work. And work that they do, those marines are going to fall. These zealots are 1-1 at the moment. And ladies and gentlemen, I almost missed that entire engagement. VDEEZNUTS, very good scouting information, knows that that natural's there. And right now, the question really becomes what happens next. So we've got, what is this, 5 barracks against 8 gateways. So we're going to see some 8 gateway play. So this is going to be heavy zealot, heavy stalker, and extremely heavy colossus play here. And VDEEZNUTS definitely has his Vikings out. So those are going to be taking out these colossus. There's 3 of them, right? So we have 7 Vikings. Ought to be able to handle those colossus if in the right position. The question is, are these 2 opposing forces going to be in the right position? These zealots a little bit out of position right now. VDEEZNUTS, though, not seeing it, not aware. Light Brigade does recognize that there is an upcoming engagement, so he is going to be switching over directly into unit production. Stalkers are coming down heavily. These are going to be able to take down all of these. Ooh, and an excellent blink. All these Vikings could go, and they don't. The Stalkers being used very effectively. Zealots coming in, trying to get the surround, not happening. He's going to have to VDEEZNUTS very intelligently getting away, trying to get away from those colossus. However, the colossus are going to be down in the engagement. One of them is going to go down to the Vikings. However, those Vikings are getting absolutely worked by the Stalkers, and VDEEZNUTS going to have to ignore that engagement, run away. Not going to be able to take down those 3 colossus with no Vikings. He can get rid of these 2 zealots here. In fact, he does. He's got plenty of medevacs for that. And now he is replenishing, going for more barracks. However, at this point, let's see, we're 17 minutes in. So the transition here could be many things. Ghosts for Terran, switching over to some ghost play. I don't think he has the academy down yet. Does he? No. Ghost play here, very good. Protoss, High Templar, going to be able to get some good storms down on this Terran army. Those are really the transitions that you typically see at this point, and you do see Light Brigade triggering on that. He is getting his Templar archives, getting the Psionic Storm researched, and he does have 2 High Templar in production. Very intelligent, because these Colossus are only going to be as good as the lack of Vikings on the map. And of course, if you have Ghosts on the field, which we do not yet, those are going to be very effective in shutting down these High Templar. That is the counter to High Templar for Terran. VDEEZNUTS are not making that transition just yet. Really needs to be making a transition here to counter those High Templar. I'm not even sure he is aware. There is a slight engagement going on in the main. A little bit of a drop there, nothing going. I don't believe he is aware. He is not aware that High Templar are on the field. So a little bit of engagement is going to be extremely painful for VDEEZNUTS. If he gets a storm down just at the right time. VDEEZNUTS did try to get that little bit of a counter at the main of Light Brigade. However, Light Brigade was ready for it. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the engagement. VDEEZNUTS is going to be in a little bit of a tight position. He is unaware that there are excellent blink of the Stalkers by Light Brigade. going to be able to take down a number of feedback on the medevac. Just using those High Templar to just shut down this engagement. A little bit of a scan there by VDEEZNUTS, trying to keep some knowledge of his opponent. However, these High Templar are going to be extremely effective in shutting down any advancement at this point. And 2 armies passing the night. Light Brigade, very conservative play, going for the macro gang now, getting his gold base. We do see that VDEEZNUTS is going to be trying to get a little bit of a harass. There is a lightning force that goes down. Psystorm does go down. VDEEZNUTS not going to be able to engage there. It just isn't going to happen. He is going to have to retreat. But this could change it. It does look like Light Brigade is going to be aware that this engagement is happening. He's going to have to hurry. But now VDEEZNUTS' main army is so low, I'm not sure it's going to be a huge matter for him. He's trying to get into the main base of Light Brigade. However, he's going to get absolutely surrounded by these zealots. At the same time, his main force is completely gone. So this force here is going to be able to be taken down effectively. Ooh, and ladies and gentlemen, that might be the end of the game right there. With the warp back, the mass recall is going to be able to shut down that engagement right there. And VDEEZNUTS is in dire straits. He needs to make a big play here right now. He needs to be able to get back in this game. His macro needs to happen because Light Brigade is going for his gold right now. And that is going to be a complete change. Now, part of the problem here is Light Brigade. Part of the problem for VDEEZNUTS is Light Brigade has basically, oh my goodness, and another mass recall. Light Brigade very effectively using that mass recall to shut down any harass on his main base. Now, that being said, his Mothership Core has completely lost all of its energy and is going to be useless for at least a short amount of time here, probably the next 60 seconds or so. VDEEZNUTS doing something interesting here, going for a slightly less defensible position. He's scouted immediately by these observers, so I'm not entirely sure what he's going to get out of that. He must know he's in a little bit of an awkward position here with putting this command center here. Unfortunate. Now Light Brigade, he has the Archon, he has the High Templar, and VDEEZNUTS not ready to give up on these medevac drops. He's trying to get that harass in, trying to create a position here for himself, doing some harass on those probes. Light Brigade not reacting to it. Definitely saw those other. Definitely waiting for that next drop, if you will, coming in. He is going to see it. This engagement is going to give him a little bit of a head start. However, Light Brigade already has stalkers, 3/3 stalkers there. And this is a very intense force here for Light Brigade. Another scan. VDEEZNUTS wanting to make sure that he knows exactly where his opponent is. But we've got 5 Colossus on the field. I'm not sure that VDEEZNUTS has the proper unit count to handle that. He does get an engagement in the main of his opponent. Going to shut down a lot of that gateway ability there. Trying to shut down really as much of everything that he can. A little bit here going on. Now Light Brigade is supply block with expansion. And VDEEZNUTS really just laying it into his opponent. However, Light Brigade is going to take advantage of that and says, you're going to be in my base, I'm going all out onto yours. And so Light Brigade moves in. However, right now, very nice storm here by Light Brigade, shutting down that engagement. And now these 2 armies are basically playing chicken. And this is going to leave VDEEZNUTS wide open for an engagement at his 3rd. This is going to go down very quickly, and so it's going to be butter right here. There's not too much VDEEZNUTS can do other than watch. Those Zealots are going to make quick work of the SCVs. The Archons are going to take out the command center. And now VDEEZNUTS trying to get back, but oh my goodness, he's going to get caught completely out of position. His medevacs aren't there. Oh my goodness, Colossus everywhere. Absolutely going to be devastating. He does get one misplaced storm there from his opponent. He's just trying to get some work done on these Colossus, trying to shut down the work, but the Vikings are going to be taken out here very quickly by those Stalkers. Some phenomenal micro here on both sides. This is going to come right down to the wire. Neither Neither opponent right now really has any mineral issues. If anything, VDEEZNUTS is a little bit behind. It does look like there is a little bit of a run back. He's going to be able to take down the Mothership Core. He's going to be able to do some damage here at this mineral line of Light Brigade, but however, Light Brigade is quick on his tail. Just trying to get a straight fight. He is going to take out that Nexus. The Nexus is down. And now it's a chase. Light Brigade trying to... all he's going to do is rebuild. There's so many minerals here for both players. I mean, it's like Light Brigade doesn't even care that half of his base is completely non-functioning. I'm not even sure he realizes that he is missing 4 of his warp gates right now. I'm not even sure he cares right at this moment. He is just trying to finish off VDEEZNUTS. Now, VDEEZNUTS, again, fully resupplied. Going to be sending out his units here again. Very conservative play. He's out. He's completely out of... comm scans, sent that Marine in, tried to figure out what was going on. Light Brigade splitting it up, figures that he's got another base that he's going to have to deal with, so he's sending out these Zealots just to kind of get a preemptive strike there. Units out of position. These Stalkers going to be able to work. And right now, these Archons are soaking up so much damage. So much damage, and the High Templar are coming around. Major engagement here, shutting down completely VDEEZNUTS. Light Brigade was an absolute epic timing there. However, he's actually killing off his own units there with those High Templar Psionic Storms. Gonna have to retreat a little bit. Still has not repowered his main base. I think the micro here for both of these players is suffering a little bit. VDEEZNUTS does have the Planetary Fortress down. That is going to allow him some defensive ability here against Light Brigade. However, Light Brigade now is in a better position financially. VDEEZNUTS is in a little bit of trouble. These Zealots holding down all of the main mineral lines, forcing VDEEZNUTS to try and multitask at 2 separate locations. He is trying to hold down. This is his only major location of income right now. He's trying to get another one over here. However, right now, that one Zealot is going to be a Hero Zealot, and we've got a major engagement at the doorstep of VDEEZNUTS. Laying down a scan, trying to get his units separated so he doesn't have to deal with the Psionic Storm. Not getting the micro that he needs right now. Another High Templar trying to get in there. And these, oh my goodness, these Colossus are just doing the work. And right now, VDEEZNUTS is completely mineraled out at the moment. He needs to repair, needs to take down as much of his opponent's minerals right now, but he doesn't have the mineral count right now. This Planetary Fortress might be the Hero Fortress. Oh. Need to get a repair in. This thing's going down quick. Needs to get a repair in. I don't think he can do it, though. I don't think he's doing it. Needs to get a repair on both of these. Needs to get a repair on that Planetary Fortress. It's not happening. He's got too much micro right now. Too much is happening all over the place. Not getting the repair. That repair is going to be huge. That repair, that lack of repair right there. Sniping one of the High Templar, going to be able to snipe a Colossus. Oh, he lets the Colossus go. Oh, he lets the Colossus go. Cannot let that Colossus go. Another Colossus. Oh my goodness, VDEEZNUTS. The micro is phenomenal, however, he does not have the unit count. Light Brigade just absolutely owning 3,000 minerals to 150. VDEEZNUTS on one mineral line. This one almost completely gone. Light Brigade, 4 base right now, right here. VDEEZNUTS trying to get a little bit of a snipe in, trying to get a couple Colossus dead. Should have gone right there and taken those out. Didn't do it. Completely out of energy. Worried about those High Templar and their feedback. And now Light Brigade is just warping in an epic amount of Archons. I think we can all smell what's about to happen here. VDEEZNUTS going to take it to the last dying breath. However, it looks like Light Brigade is going to be able to finish this off in short order. A little bit of harass here from VDEEZNUTS, getting a couple of these probes, but not enough. Just a huge differential in units lost at this point. Not making the transition to Ghosts. Not being able to take on these Archons that are currently through here. Colossus is absolutely doing the work now on his opponent, and now Light Brigade is fully fleshed out his entire side of the map. He has bases being built and being mined almost everywhere. This is the most conservative play I think I've seen from Protoss since I played. And now VDEEZNUTS recognize what's happened. I think he's recognizing the situation he's in. And ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 is going to go to our Protoss hero, Light Brigade from Team Microsoft. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, JW Schmo from Team Raytheon. Thank you for watching.